Hi everybody. Today we're talking about word problems. So I think we've talked about this in some classes. The thing about algebra word problems is that they're often really kind of ridiculous. Like I think we did one in class and it was like you had to do a bunch of algebra to find the cost of a slice of pizza. And somebody pointed out like, why would you need to do algebra to find the cost of a slice of pizza when you can just look at the sign in the restaurant? So yes, algebra word problems can be a little bit ridiculous. The skill that we're working on with algebra word problems is using algebra to model real world situations. And that is not ridiculous. So that is happening a lot, especially these days with coronavirus. Mathematicians are making coronavirus mathematical models that make predictions about how quickly the vaccine is going to get rolled out, how many cases or how many positive cases we can expect. So using algebra to write a real world situation is not ridiculous. The word problems that they give us to practice that skill is kind of ridiculous. So I'm just going to remind you the skill, just so you don't get frustrated with some of these. I mean, some of them are like, honestly, does anybody care how many watermelons Josie ate on Thursday? Like, really? So just to remind you, the skill that we're working on is using algebra to represent real world situations. So for a lot of these, for all of these, it's going to ask you for a solution. I don't really care about the solution. I care, can you write an equation to represent the situation? That's what I care about. So I have some steps to help us get better at that. Whoops, let me just click off that. There we go. So the first step, so a lot of times when you read a word problem, it can be really confusing. It's like all these words and, you know, it's about something that nobody really cares about or it's ridiculous, okay? It can really help to list the given information in a list form. That helps us think about it clearly, okay? So we have this word problem. Hudson and Knox are in a race. Good for them. Hudson is running at a speed of 8.8 feet per second. Of course he is. Knox got a 30-foot head start because they couldn't start at the same point, apparently, and is running at a speed of 6.3 feet per second. How many seconds will it take until Hudson and Knox are at the same place? Now, you could figure this out without algebra. I don't even really care about the answer to the problem. I care, can you write an equation that represents this? Okay, so listing the given information, I use little bullet points. And I just take all of the information in the word problem and I put it in a list. So Hudson is 8.8 feet per second. And I try to make the list as kind of brief as possible. Knox, 30-foot head start. And also Knox is 6.3 feet per second. So that's what I mean by listing the given information. You just take it out of the wordy word problem and put it in a list. It just helps your thinking to have it, it helps your memory to have it in a list. Okay? Define your variable. That means say what X or whatever letter you're going to use, say what it's going to stand for. Say what letter you're going to use. And what it stands for. For what it stands, I probably should say. You're not supposed to end in a preposition, but I did. Sorry, everybody. Okay. A hint for define your variable is look at the question. The question's always going to tell you what your variable is going to be. See how it says how many seconds? And when I say look at the question, I mean the sentence in the word problem that is the question. How many seconds will it take until Hudson and Knox are at the same place? That's our unknown. That's our variable. So we're going to say let x equal the number of seconds. So I'd like you to go through to the other, there's 3 or 4 more, I can't remember how many are in this. There's 3 or 4 more word problems. I'd like you to go through and just list all of the given information and define your variable for each one. And then you can watch the next video.